Good morning. I hope everybody's doing well today. Hey, I wanted to take a moment today and talk to you about selecting a real estate agent. What should that process look like? Now, ideally, of course, I would say, hey, every one of you guys just line up and call me. But I actually want to earn your business honestly. So let's look at some things that will help you find a real estate professional that will work well for you. So first of all, begin with your research. Go to websites. Ask your friends for referrals. Like, hey, have you had any great experiences while you were purchasing any of your properties? Don't go into it blind. Don't call off of just any sign and say, these are going to be my people. Do your research on the front end about your real estate agent. Secondly, look at their credentials and their licensing. What have they done in this business? What letters do they have by their names? Do they have a license? And note that selling real estate without a license, as far as if you're representing somebody, that is illegal in the state of Arkansas. They cannot do that. So first of all, make sure that they have a license. And if they have a license, are they a sales agent or are they a broker? So, there are a couple things to consider there, which will lean into their experiences. Look for local expertise. Folks, all real estate is local. So who knows about those areas? Who knows what you're looking for in those areas? And who's been there a while? I think that that's something that you need to consider. And what is their involvement in any community? Those are things, really to consider and to look for. Then interview. Before you commit or sign on the dotted line, we call them exclusive buyer agencies. Before you sign a buyer's agency agreement, talk to those folks and interview them and make sure that it is the right fit. Now, I will tell you this, and I'm gonna support my agents a little bit in the field. Sign a buyer's agency, and the reason for that is because if you do not, technically, they are working for the seller, even if they work for another company. They may not even know that, frankly. Unfortunately, some agents don't know that. But until you sign that agency agreement with them as a buyer, that buyer's agency agreement, they are technically working for the seller. So when you find that right person, sign the buyer's agency so that they can work for you. Then let's see here. Evaluate their communication skills. Responsiveness, being proactive. Are they able to explain a complex real estate contract? And we're going to get into that in just a second. But there are a lot of things that you are going to be promising to in a real estate contract, whether they're a realtor contract or they're just something that somebody has printed off or purchased from some online site, or Office Depot sells contracts too. They're very complex. Make sure that they can explain those to you. If you're selling, review their marketing strategy. If you are going to have somebody sell your house, ask them, say, all right, if it's on the market for 2 days, what does that look like? But if it's on the market for 2 months, what does that look like? So, there's going to be differences in marketing plans, and they should be ready to explain that to you and say, this is what we do week 1, week 2, week 3, etc. And you need to be in agreement with that plan. Is it going to involve you preparing your house for a Sunday open house? Those are conversations you need to have on the front end. And consider compatibility. You're going to be working with these folks, and you need to have a good relationship with them where you don't hesitate to call them. Like, if you have a question, you need to be able to reach out to them at that point, and they need to be able to communicate with you to their schedules. And if they can't answer the phone at certain times, they need to be able to explain that to you, and you guys need to be in agreement with that. Compatibility is so important in this process. Check references. Folks, like I said, get them on the front end. Ask your friends and see if these folks are going to be good agents. Your friends are going to know that. And then whoever they say as a reference, check them out. Make sure that it is what they say. And lastly, and this is more after the fact, no matter who your real estate agent is or who you decide to work with in this process, read the contracts carefully. Your name is the one on that dotted line. You're the one that's making most of those promises. So read those contracts, and if you have questions, ask your real estate professional. Hey, thank you guys so much for chiming in and tuning in today. Please feel free to leave any comments below. This has also been a blog post that we've done recently, so feel free to check this out, print it out from our blog. I so appreciate your time. Have a wonderful day.